All right, so now we're gonna move. Well, stick it with Greg Berlanti and Warner Brothers and all that stuff. But now we're gonna move to the CW now. So we're gonna
Right.
talk about the 2018 Arrowverse crossover,
Right.
which in this case is Elseworlds. It started off with the Flash, and then
Right.
continued with Arrow and Supergirl. Each episode 9, so I like that. Uh, so what is this story about? So I'll jump in,
Well,
right?
before we start that, we had to talk about just the awesomeness of the 100th episode. Because not only is it episode 9, but it was the 101st episode of Flash.
Yes, it was.
And that 100th episode was pretty badass. That was excellent for me. I mean, I
Yeah,
thought
It was. I really enjoyed that.
this was the finale was this crossover was pretty good. But
It was.
I liked it. I actually had a lot of fun with it, but I thought they could have done more with it. I was a
I
little
would agree too. It's less goofy than the previous one, with the
right.
evil Nazis and evil Arrow and Supergirl. What I say goofy is that I'll just never forget that shot of of oh gosh, I'm forgetting Kara's sister's name. I was forgetting her name.
Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Of Alex trying to gun down Reverse Flash Shred.
Right.
Like her with a handgun try to shoot at Reverse Flash Shred. That 5 seconds of this just that had me rolling. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
But anyway, I know they want to give us something to do and they want to have a flashy, comic book-esque action scene with all the heroes and villains battling each other. Which for some reason we didn't get here, but whatever. But yeah, that did work. Yeah.
So the promo fight is pretty badass. Like when they started it, it started off with all these fallen heroes. You get to see, and they call it Earth 90, which is hilarious because 1990 Flash. And so we get to see John Wesley Shipp in his old Flash outfit fighting against this dude, not sure who he is, and you see him run away, trying to escape. And that's how it starts. And I was like, all right, cool. You're going to see the story. And then the show starts with a big twist where characters switch places. They do a Freaky Friday. Well, they keep mentioning Freaky Friday as a joke or Quantum Leap.
Yeah. But if it's Quantum Leap, as they say, if you look in the mirror, you'll see yourself, blah, blah, blah. Right? Although, to be honest, I've never watched Quantum Leap. Not because I never wanted to, but it's just, I don't know. At the time when I was young, that show just didn't click with me. So one of these days, I really should check it out. So I didn't get that reference with the mirror.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. But it's a show I liked a lot. I remember. The finale is weird as hell and kind of dumb, but it's a decent enough show. I could see a remake coming. Whatever.
All right, I was figured it was like such a great show, like like one of the great sci-fi shows ever, that kind of stuff.
It was a good sci-fi show for what it was trying to do, but yeah, it was. The actual central premise was real. Like when you find out what was really going on, it's like, wow, this is real silly and ridiculous show. By the way, it's a good show because the leading man, like Scott Bakula, he's pretty good in that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Right. So so Elseworlds, right? So yes, touch on the Freaky Friday stuff. So what happened is that Oliver Queen of Arrow, or aka Arrow or the Green Arrow, wakes up and he finds himself in the same apartment that McGill Iris West is. So he learns that, oh shit, he's actually, he's Barry now, he's Barry Allen. And while Barry on the other hand is in Star City and he's treated with John Diggle. He's like, oh shit, what's going on? So they both realize that they are in different cities, but they swap rules though.
Well, no, right? But how you know this universe so different is that Iris can actually make pancakes now. Like, wow.
Oh yes.
Pancakes.
I did not pick up on that. Yes, that's true. And even touch on that in the season of Flash, where she's trying to make some pancakes and it didn't work. It looked like shit. Yes. Yeah. What was the one with the lightning bolts? Yeah, that was funny. Right. So so eventually Oliver thinking that he's Barry and Barry thinking that he's Oliver confront each other and they realize, okay, something's wrong. We try to figure out what it is. While all this is going on, there's this weird kind of weather, some sort of weather anomaly going on. The sky's looking kind of purplish or pinkish, reddish kind of way. There's lightning bolts over the place, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, the team members of Team Arrow and Team Flash kind of pick up on what's going on, and it turns like both Barry and Oliver decide to get help. So they go to, is Earth 32 or is it 39? It's 30. No, it's Earth 38, right? Yeah, Earth 38, yeah. Where Supergirl is. And props for using Somebody Save Me, that intro song that we know and love from Smallville. When I heard that, I was like, all right, I'll fuck with this. That hard. That hard, right? Yeah. And here we see what, because I was always wondering since we last saw Superman in season 3 of Supergirl, what's he up to? So we get the answer to that. Basically, he's
they mentioned early in the season for Supergirl, because I've actually been really enjoying this season of Supergirl for the most part.
Me too. I've been enjoying it as well. I love the plot with Captain Liberty, all that stuff.
Yeah. And they more or less explain what Superman was up to with this. So
right. Okay.
They kind of just validate it here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So basically, Clark, if you will, and Lois, they just basically hanging out at the farmhouse, basically. Well, that's where they introduced. And Supergirl is there, and of course Barry and Oliver have to explain what's going on. That's in the Flash episode, right? And then it continues on into Arrow, and I love how they open this episode of Arrow, because if you've been following Arrow, well, I know you don't watch Arrow, but which, by the way, has been going great in my opinion. I've been enjoying the hell out of season 7, because I tell myself, all right, Oliver Queen in jail, how are they gonna make this thing work? Because they had that instance in Flash where Barry was in jail for like 3 episodes. How are they gonna make that work? Well, 3 or 4 actually. But how are you gonna make it work for like half of a season? And they make it work. They really make this shit work.
I was following what's going on with that, just to keep abreast of certain things. So I could clearly follow what's going on in terms of some of the facts of this. But that's about it.
Yeah. So I love how they use the same opening, which is my name is Oliver Queen. After 6 years in prison, blah, 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 blah. But in this case, he used Grant Gustin's, well, not his face, but him himself. Yeah.
It is. So a lot of fans was actually enjoying Grant.
I love that. I love that opening. That opening alone get points from me.
Right. A lot of fans actually like Grant Gustin as Green Arrow. They're actually enjoying him as Green Arrow. But my thing is that Grant Gustin way too scrawny for me to take seriously. Every time I see
how his head looks in the like compared to Stephen Amell, sorry. Yeah. You see, like when he puts on the hood, like it doesn't fully cover his face there. It's like his it's like Grant's face just kind of sink into the hood basically. Exactly. It's too big for him. That's what.
No, right, exactly. The hoodies look terrible. In fact, as far as I consider, he's basically Evil Kermit to me, That's basically what that Evil Kermit meme.
Yeah. Right. So we learned that a certain John Deegan, who is a doctor at Arkham Asylum, was given a book by this mysterious extraterrestrial called Ma Novu, or as he calls himself, the Monitor. And basically, what he opens that book and he uses, his mind, sheer will. He could pretty much rewrite reality however he sees fit.
Right.
So at first it's like, all right, I can swap these characters and see what happens. But in this case, well, when we go into Supergirl now, I'm not gonna see what happens at that point. He's told early on, think big, and he actually does that. I love how Supergirl intro opens there, because I was wondering if we're gonna get my name is Kara and all that kind of stuff. But I like how they flip it here. It reminds me a lot of like what Legends of Tomorrow do, where every once in a while you will hear, if not one of the legends say something, it might be a bad guy. Like I remember when I think it was Malcolm Merlin or one of those characters, or did the intro for one of the episodes of Legends of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So they do something similar like that with Supergirl.
I remember Reverse Flash did one, I think. That was when he was
I think it was him. Yeah, it was Reverse Flash. And that was when everything had changed and they had to go back to change stuff, right? When the Legion of Doom. That was the Legion of Doom episode. Right.
The character is Dr. Destiny from the comics. Now, Dr. Destiny is very rarely referenced outside of the comics, as far as I know. There's one episode of, if I remember correctly, there was one episode of Justice League with him. That was the Dreaming episode. That was him, I think.
Okay, is he that Skeletor looking dude, the guy who is dressed in blue? I think it is. Right. I remember him now. Oh, shit, yes. Yeah, but that's something interesting that they do with this show. Well, they have been doing this with their shows basically, where they
Yeah.
will take kind of characters like the costume villains and heroes and more or less make them more human, make them look more human. Case in point,
Yeah.
Manchester Black in
Oh
Supergirl,
yeah.
like
I've
that.
been loving that dude for I've been loving that dude for Supergirl. They
Yeah,
nailed
he is
that
a
fella.
badass, by the way. I love his
They
character.
nailed the
One
character
gripe I
for me.
have with him though is that yes, we know you're from England. You don't need to have that shit with the Royal Jack all the time though. Like
No,
change your
that's the
clothes, man.
character. No, but that's the character design. Like that's how you always like that. The only big change is his race. He black now, but like he black British so it's not a problem now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And fucking
basically
works
character
too,
design.
especially how he keeps the accent and everything. I love that.
Yeah, it's the character of the Union Jack. And they have roughly the same arc in terms of like how to think about crime and his attitude towards crime now.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back
Right.
to it. Here's
So
the
long
one.
story short, it's just of course it's our heroes, that is Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash, trying to figure out what's going on. And in the process, I forgot to mention, last thing I forgot to mention, they do find themselves in Gotham City, which I'll bring up a
Right.
little bit later on. And we are introduced to Ruby Roseboy, aka
Yeah,
Batwoman. Yes.
Cat Kid.
So yes. So let's jump
Uh,
into review one time. Ricardo.
yeah. I like this a lot. I had a lot of fun with it, but they could have do more with this. I thought.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, episode 1 was solid, right? I thought that was a good intro to the material, but then I thought they had a letdown with episode 2. Mostly because they cheap out on all the action. That's the problem with it. Yeah. That's pretty much the problem with episode 2. They brought it like episode 1 was great because they had Amazo to fight. I mean, come on, they had freaking Amazo to fight. That was pretty awesome.
I know, right? did that expect to see
character.
That character?
Yeah, Dr. Ivor's android or the Amazo robot, where basically it's this robot that could copy any powers it sees. And they copied all of their powers, and Superman, Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow had to take all of them down. And I thought that was great what they did with that. Then the second episode, they basically, well, okay, so the second episode, the purpose of the second episode was to show, well, the CW have all these characters again. Because Gotham is ending. I think they pretty much got back all these characters, and the implication is that Batwoman and, well, we're going to start, I don't think we could get Batman and Robin just yet, but they have Batwoman, so they're going to basically just do a full-fledged Batwoman series. And because Titans, I think from what I understand, because Titans has Robin and Titans has Batman, we're not going to get that just yet. But because the movie people shit the bed with their movies, they now have a chance to say, okay, well, we have the chance to do this stuff in the TV show full-fledged now. And I think CW, from what I understand, CW might get an outright full Superman show. And we'll get a Batwoman show as well, which I pretty welcome in. Right? Now, let's talk about Ruby Rose for a second.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people loving Ruby Rose. I like in Ruby Rose, but I don't love in Ruby Rose. And Ruby Rose have the same problem Ruby Rose has. Ruby Rose has presence, good screen presence, but not a particularly good actress in my opinion. I'll say the problem is that she just don't have any chemistry to anybody just yet. I thought they would have done.
Although they were trying a thing with Supergirl, I like that. I like but then again, it's because it's Melissa Benoist and she could outshine like nearly all the female. Outshine nearly all the actresses in the Arrowverse anyway. So yeah,
all the actors period. Like Melissa Benoist, I put like pretty high up in the ranking of best actors in the Arrowverse for me. And she was pulling up the entire scene. And Ruby Rose is just too flat. And I know they're trying to play her as, well, the grounded Batman kind of thing. And they're trying to more or less do the exact same thing with this, with what to do with Melissa Benoist, Supergirl, by having her not be Supergirl particularly unique, but she more feels like a female Clark Kent. For the most part. But Ruby Rose just don't have particularly good chemistry to anybody. And then as Batwoman, I thought they could have done more by having her be relevant to the story, because she wasn't particularly relevant to this, in my opinion. Superman was relevant.
She was just there, like, hey guys, Batwoman coming soon, and that was what disappointed me, because I thought she would have been in the Supergirl thing, but she was, but it was just nearing the end before we cut the credits. I was like, what? Really?
And I thought that was pretty. I thought they would have it real central with that episode and they would have done more with it, but they didn't really do anything with her. They just have her come in to do some action, and it wasn't that much action on its own. It had a bunch of name droppings in the when they went to Arkham. So the show Riddler,
which was clever. Like you saw Riddler, you saw Cobblepot. They even throw in Mark Guggenheim. I was like, okay,
right, that's what that's all
right. That was cool. That was a nice little Easter egg thing. But on the subject of that, just want to talk about this briefly about Batwoman, right? So this sequence where you see her like actually fighting and duking it out, right? Takes place in the Arkham Asylum. Some of the prisoners escape, so trying to apprehend them, right? This one shot though, like I was glad that we didn't have the goofy moments, but this had to throw in one goofy moment, and that was when Batwoman jumped on top of this truck, right? Where this guy, who we'll talk about near the end, if you want to talk spoilers, was trying to escape, right?
Yeah.
And the driver looks up and says, "Ah!" And I'm like,
yeah.
For what?
I didn't mind that.
Just like that.
Yeah. No, for me, I like her outfit.
Me too. I like how she moves. I like it.
I wanted to move
more. Has to grow on me, but well, I mean grow on me because the other kind of established. Okay, well they're trying to hide the identity, so why with a wig though?
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind the wig thing. That's fine. Like it's fine because to me that actually more. You already don't get a sense that but the wig kind of pointless when you think about it. Okay, could just be a bat.
Yeah, it's not like it's like glasses with Supergirl. It's a wig dread. Like you take your time to put a wig on before you go on.
Well, it's part cowl, eh? It's just part of the cowl as a wig, so I don't really mind the wig really necessarily. It's fine. I mean, it look like really hair, so it's like it could be actually more distracting and thinking who should be the Batwoman. So you don't know who the Batwoman is. That's fine. Whatever. Plot-wise, in the comic, this is the case as well. She's the cousin on the mother side, Kate Kane. Kate Kane. So I was like, all right, fine, cool. They do that. I like that. I get that they're playing the kind of grounded nature to everything. Now, here's what I want them to do with the outfit and how she's fight, right? They should do the thing like, okay, one of the few things I like in Batman v Superman. Remember the opening scene with Batman where he's crawling the walls and they have no idea what the fuck going on with that?
Yes.
Like, their perspective is just this monster's like zooming about the place. They should do more of that. So, you see, one of the big problems is the action in these shows. And with Batman, I can't see her really like being in full-fledged action. Unless they do it like Titans, which will be great, because I've been enjoying Titans. So it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just not feeling her as Batwoman because she had to hold up a whole show. That's the problem now. And they should have shown more people around her. Like, remember they mentioned how there's somebody in Wayne Tech working with me, blah, blah, blah. And it's implied that it's Lucius Fox, but it could be Lucius Fox's son, who's Batwing, and he could be a good side character to bring him in. Because again, it's not, you don't have any of the Robins, and you don't have any of the, and you don't have Batman to work with, but you have Batwing and her, so they can have him as a good side character, maybe. But they ain't really doing anything that she ain't do nothing to say away about it. I'm real excited for her show yet. No, they did a thing.
I would agree, yeah.
No, they did something, a big plot reveal with Superman. And if they do that with his show, I'll be really excited for his show. We mentioned it at the end of the thing, right? But I just remember thing. The problem is Ruby Rose. I'm just going to keep saying it. It's a reason why her best role is in John Wick 2. She didn't talk. She just can't really read them lines so good. Sorry. I don't know.
I mean, I really do have to agree with you. Like, presence is there. It's cool seeing her in the Arrowverse and whatnot, but it's just something about the delivery of the lines. So like, it just didn't really fully buy into it. Like, it really felt like she was just reading lines. Like, she just needs more of a personality. Because of these shows already, they could set up characters rather quickly. You know what I mean? Even without you having to remember, this is how she is in the comics, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it here is just, she's the cousin of this, and Batman left. And one thing I like about that, so I'm probably late to the party here, but I would say that it greatly justified this, right? Now I kind of justify that this is in the same universe as the Dark Knight trilogy. I would like to think that when they say, Batman disappeared, that was after the end of Dark Knight Rises.
Exactly.
I would like to think that. And I would think about, remember Dark Knight Rises was 2012, and then from there was Arrow and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense. It's like a nice trajectory. You know what I mean? I love that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I could see that happening. But anyway, Ruby, they needed to do more with Ruby Rose for me to win me over. Again, her show, they still have more than enough time to build a show up properly and do a proper show. I could expect it to be good because especially if they get all the good Batman villains and make it work, I could see it happening. But we will see.
Also, the other part in terms of the whole Dark Knight trilogy crossover, we get to see the side effects of Scarecrow's gas, right, which he used in Batman Begins. And a cool scene, by the way. I love how they set it up, even though they had to, although they did a little too much of, character says this, and then, it's really all of us saying this and back and forth, right?
Right.
But it made for a cool fight scene, I would say, in terms of the fighting. And say what you want about Arrow, hate it as much as you want to, they always come through good with solid fight choreography. And just seeing Flash and Arrow fight each other was excellent. And then, of course, them seeing each other as both Eobard Thawne and Mark Merlin, I thought that was like a nice cameo as well. We also see Bane's mask though from Dark Knight Rises. I was like, well, what? Okay. Yeah. So once again, justifying the fact that this is right after Dark Knight Rises. I love that. Well, Spy. Well, okay. Overall, I think that they do
a couple things. Yeah, they do a couple things that was kind of weird. So like they had I think Nora Freeze in it, and she used the coal gun. I was like, okay, right.
Yeah, that came completely out of nowhere, Jared. And it's only in a little piece of the intro, Supergirl was like, oh, so that's why she's so messed up, or that's why she's in Arkham Asylum. I was like, but why is she there? Well, where's the husband? You know what I mean? But then if you think about the husband, then you have to think about Gotham, because yes, Victor Freeze is in Arrow. Sorry, is in Gotham now. So I'm like, well, what's the point of having your wife be in the asylum? I don't understand this, but and that's true there because they needed somebody for Killer Frost to fight. I was like, but nobody else only could have picked. Come on, but but I do agree with you. It is a decent crossover. A fine, but they really could have done more with it. Well, I do like the comedic moments, if you want to call it that, with Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin. I thought they were great. I felt like they played like they had a little too much of those moments. A couple of those scenes really work, like the opening of Supergirl, where the bad guy, we're not going to see who it is, did something, and then afterwards Flash was feeling bad about it. He was like, oh shit, I'm going to feel sick. Oh, nothing's coming up. All right, there's a little too much. Like, first couple of episodes was cool, but yes, we get it. It's basically something that's been a recurring theme of these crossovers anyway, which is, Arrow being the seasoned vigilante and him having to dig in deep and be this dark, brooding hero for him to get stuff done, and Flash basically having to run his way and be optimistic about shit, right? So it's that kind of dynamic now. And I like that it continues here to even bring up something they did in the first crossover with the trading thing with the arrows. That was cool. But it's just like there's a few of the moments it's like, all right, we get it. Barry can't be Oliver and Oliver can't be Barry. Okay, we get it along. All right. Where's Supergirl? Come on.
Okay, but that's the point of the Scarecrow gas section as well, right? Where the whole point is they had to see what they kind of both of them went through memory wise, because now they have each other's memories, and that gets kind of come flooding to the top because of the scare gas, because they are each other in this because of the book now. And I actually like that, because the purpose is just to kind of stand in each other's shoes for a while now. Already understood each other fully. One just being the Flash and being Arrow had to make them think differently in terms of approach and perspective. I like that they had Iris make that now, because Iris does not like Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow. She doesn't like him at all because of his outlook in life. He's a really dark character. He would dig deep, blah, blah, blah. And the whole point of this was to, like, from that perspective, it works thematically. That it is there's a big character moment for the two of them. So I enjoy that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if the end of this
few other things before we get to the end then. Some of these side characters as well. Like, I like that we got to see, the guy that, people like to shit on in Legends of Tomorrow. All that, I also like he had to stop and say, they're just heroes, legends. I was like, ha 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 ha. Okay. What surprised me was your boy, Jimmy. Being this for Cisco. I was like, what shit you do? That's funny. That's funny.
No, but okay.
So with Jimmy and the bullshit, as you see with gosh, with what is the character name? I forget his name. With
Guardian,
yeah. That by the way, wait, what have you been? What do you think about how they've been treating Guardian in this new season of Supergirl?
Yeah, I like what they do with that. It's a good way to address the character and make it work now. As I said, Legends made fun of the crossover because a big event in Legends happened. It gives a good excuse as to why they're not in the crossover, and the Barry Allen, Barry thing and Supergirl have been calling them to help out now, and they say no, they don't want to go hard pass, but they explain why they don't want to.
Okay. Well, I haven't started watching that new season of Legends as yet, but I will check it out.
It's kind of weak for me. It's kind of weak, but I enjoying it still. But it's kind of weak also.
Anyway. Few other things. The bad guy, right? The John guy, right? John Deegan. I like, the kind of theater. He has this kind of like Saturday morning cartoon kind of bad guy vibe to him. You know what I mean? Like he just acting bad. You know what I mean? Which I like. They don't really do much with him in terms of why he's doing all this kind of stuff. It just feels like he just randomly got chosen to do it.
They can't explain it. They can't explain it, but again, they could have fleshed it out a little better. But they can't explain.
Yeah.
That he wanted to change the world because the idea of superheroes is a little ridiculous, and he had to he don't think superheroes to fix the world enough for his liking. So he decided to change things, and eventually you see he does.
Right. I remember that the lecture that he did in the Flash. I remember that. Right. But yeah,
and then Monitor. Right, and then Monitor doing it because Monitor have a purpose of making other universes stronger to solve a bigger problems, and that's at the end of this one, right?
Right. I wish they explore a little bit more.
Right.
Given what we saw with the Earth 50 stuff, and yes, I appreciate the cameo from John Wesley's ship. But yeah, kind of wanted to see a little bit more of that though. It was just like, hey guys, I'm here, right? And then he just leaves basically.
They just totally waste him. He just disappear because of Monitor, and Monitor just teleport him away and wait to kill him. It was unclear what happened there.
Yeah.
They don't do anything with him.
And this last before we get to the end, just a couple of other gripes I had. Brainiac, who the character I've been liking, right? But in Supergirl, the man got opportunity. Yeah, Brainy. Man got opportunity to fight a bad guy. Well, we're not gonna see who it is. And they just instantly cut the next scene, John. I was like,
yeah, off panel. They totally off panel it.
But look, loving the character. There's an early episode of Supergirl where he actually has to fight one of the Liberty people. A group of the Liberty people. I thought that was excellent. Like, I love that. Yeah. The music they used for that on point. So I thought we'd get to see him using physics, quote unquote, to fight the bad guy. But nope, cut that next scene. So like what?
Yeah, they didn't show that.
Like y'all use the majority of all your budget on Amizo or something, or on the fight with Superman and this other person, which you will reveal. Yeah. But, oh gosh, man, give Brady a little screen time, man.
Yeah, but budget.
Yes. And see with Martian Manhunter too, you give him nothing to do. You did.
That's the problem with this. They're all cheap out in the action.
Yeah, boy. And I think this is like what really brings it down because we've used to have the big gigantic battle at the very end, and it's there, but like I wanted to see more characters, see more John Diggle, see Guardian, you know what I mean, see Alex, see more people. But it's just the three main heroes doing what they do, and Superman's there, so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we can get to the actual ending here. I would confess, I had to go up on Wikipedia. I read up who that character was. Cause I saw the mask and I was like, wait.
That's he's a character who I forget his name, but he's basically the character who could remember when time changed and when universes change. So he's not. He
is the Psycho Pirate. I've never heard of him until I read it up.
Mask. I saw the mask and I was like, oh yeah, this character. It's like, oh, he's gonna be the true line then to remember everything.
Right. But dumb question: is he part of the Elseworlds story, the original story,
So he's not part of Elseworlds, but he is part of the hype thing they bring up at the end, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, yes. Which have me so excited. And one thing I will say though, because they have 5 shows, or well, let's just say 6 when Batwoman comes out, you better do a 6-parter for this, sir.
Listen, they had to come good for that next one.
Shit, the 3-parter shit, really started waiting. Because there's only so much you can do with 3 episodes, and we've seen that here with Elseworlds. Give we 6 episodes, please. Stretch this thing out, make it as badass as possible, please.
Right. Yeah, and I think they have to. They do. I'll say is what this was missing was Black Lightning. I find they could have tried to bring in the Black Lightning crew for something, but they didn't do that. Next year they need to have Black Lightning.
Yes.
Bring in a bunch of characters, make it work. Yeah, well, okay, so the big thing I liked at the end, and they brought in, well, the character we didn't mention, but they brought her in, which was Lois Lane. I'm not loving her, but she has the Margot Kidder vibe going for her, so she okay.
Yeah.
But then
I kind of prefer the Lois from Smallville and all, so I thought, like, she had also a little bit more than she did, but this one here, her name is Bitsy Tulloch. That's her name, that's her real name. She's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right. So what they did a thing at the end of this, which to me, if they're doing this for the Superman series, I'm pretty excited for that. Where they have Lois pregnant.
Yes.
With Clark's child, and it's implied that they're gonna be out of the running for a while now. Clark gonna be not Superman for a while. You gotta take care of Lois, and when the child born, like when they're gonna tell the story, and that John Kent, that's his son. I want to see that character, because that character is great. And if they're doing that John Kent storyline with a kid, and it's the Superman family, so Superman, Lois Lane, and John Kent, I really want to see that. That I would be excited for if they're doing that as a series. So if that is a Superman series we're getting, I would be excited for that. I hope we get that. So We'll see. What else, boy? Yeah, well, the finale itself was okay. Again, we get to see Monitor in action. They kind of talk about Monitor and Arrow and the arc they imply, because in the comic for Crisis on Infinite Earths, they do it where both Supergirl and Flash are supposed to die. Now that happens in Crisis on Infinite Earth comic, but they do it roughly in a similar fashion of how they die now. But then Arrow make a decision and decide to switch time when they get back their powers now, and he changed destiny, quote unquote, with a special arrow apparently, right? He got a magic arrow. And that was the ending. I was like, all right, well, good. That means they're changing things. And it's implied that, well, Stephen Amell might die, because they might end off Arrow like that now, or something like that now. So I'm not sure what they're going to do.
7 seasons there eventually at the end. It's some boy time, right?
Let me just tell you something. These shows don't last more than 10 seasons. So I can see a 7 seasons being wrapped up with him now. With Arrow. I can't see more. How much are we going to do now?
How much things all of us can go through, because that man went through real shit. This show alluded, that man went through real hell, John.
Right. So to me, they could start to wrap up this character now, and then they could fill up space for 2 extra shows, because with the Batwoman especially coming in, and Batwoman could be a good replacement for Arrow in my opinion, because it's the same tone anyway now. So we could see that. I don't know. Yeah, all in all, I was a little disappointed in this. Not too disappointed, but a little disappointed, mostly because they cheap out on the action. Had some moments that had great action, with especially the Amazo fight and the fight with Superman and another person, and that's it. They didn't have anything else that they could have do more with it. I mean, I could have do some more action, and that was about it. They should have do more with Batwoman. I was a little disappointed with her. They just didn't do anything. Like I kind of like her. I don't love her, but I kind of like her. She has her fan support, so it's not like she don't have support or people hating it necessarily. But I'm not feeling her necessarily. And well, again, they should have showed more of her show to show what they're planning to do with her show now. And we really get that. And I wanted that. Well,
it still felt like an Arrow episode than oh, this is a preview of Batwoman. I do agree with you.
I would have liked that. But it's fine. Whatever, it's Arrow episode, so cool. And that's it. I'm disappointed what they do with John Darcy Ship. They could have do more with him. They had some nice little shout outs though. So little shout outs I like to see. Diggle say, John, you're not wearing your ring. I like that. So it's implied that Diggle is Green Lantern in one universe. That's great.
Okay. I didn't pick up on that.
What else? What else to mention, boy? A couple of things.
All right. One thing I forgot to mention. This is another one of the goofy moments, right? Which is gonna play out a lot better. during one of the climatic fight scenes, I'm not gonna say with who, well, just say it involves Superman. A character, well, a stand-in, right? Well, just say an extra, sorry, sees these characters fighting inside, like bust through the office that she's in, and balls out Bizarro.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
It just like I get what he's trying to do, but it just was so random and out of place. Where like they could have done this wee bit. Like, who is this person and why? Like, if it was supposed to be like shui, right, which is the dumb slang that Nora is using in Flash.
Yeah, from Batman Beyond.
Yeah, like something like that, but Bizarro. Yeah. Like it didn't sound like it was a slang. It sounded like you didn't see a word. You know what I mean? That didn't look.
It makes sense in the context of the fight. That makes sense. Whatever. As I said, no, I didn't think it was weird. It's fine in the context of the fight. Because the fight, if you know what the fight is, it makes sense. We're not spoiling the fight.
Right.
That's it. I thought it was I thought it was solid. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. Again, Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's what they need to do. Mm-hmm. They need to do that. They need to spend their money on that. Well, from what I understand, Crisis on Infinite Earths supposed to be in the summer, not in the fall. Ooh. They mentioned that. Supposed to be they say coming, 2019 August. I think I saw that. Like, that's summertime. So that means they're trying to time themselves with Infinity with Marvel now, or something along those lines. Now.
Okay, clever. All right.
Marvel taking that thunder, right? So
yeah.
Again, I kind of pissed off that they're not doing this in the movies. But whatever, the movies shit in the bed, so let the movies take their time. Whatever, fine. But the TV people, I like what they're doing, and well, that's about it. I got nothing else to really talk about with this.
If I could rate it, strong 3.5 out of 5, man. I mean, it's entertaining enough. I mean, your favorite characters are there. You'll love to see them on screen anyway. Really could have done more given the nature of the story, but if this is just the prelude to Crisis on Infinite Earths, then all right, I guess I'll have to stick with this. So,
and I hope they learn that lesson. They just watch and say, okay, we could have do more with this. And I get the feeling they wanted to do more with this. So, but they really cut some corners with it, again, budget. But I hope they save up the money, or they get money from some other DC property, or whatever it is, instead of spending too much energy on the movies, and they really come good with that Crisis on Infinite Earths and really sit down with the writing and make it work. I really hope that with next year. They have a whole year to do that. So cool.
Exactly.
7 out of 10 for me as well. I enjoyed it. It's fine.
Cool.